Snowman here, Owensville crawlers. I got a green tape day. Always love green tape day. And we are unboxing something. You are about to see what it is, but by the description of the video, you probably already know, but that's okay. So I'm going to cut it all open and get to it because y'all don't need to see the packaging and whatnot, and we'll get to all the good stuff. So give me just a sec. So here she is, the Axial Scx10 II. I love this thing right out of the box. We will get to all the hoopla here in just a second, but we're just going to kind of show it off. So there she is. Beautiful scale looks. And we'll get into why it's so scale in just a second. But look at that front end. It's awesome. There is I've seen some good looking, front ends and stuff, but I love how this looks. I am a Jeep owner, so I know what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it looks like. So let's get into it. So basically, you got your usual stuff. So we got the Tactic TTX300, which has become Axial's kind of standard with their crawlers now. It comes with a third channel, which is nice. The only downside of this remote is it does not have a spot to hook a lanyard, which sucks. I usually drill a little hole back here because there's nothing in here right on the corner, or tie a little rope and then hook to that. But that's the only thing I wish they would change, is something for a lanyard for this radio. You got your parts trees, the usual stuff. I have pulled out a couple things that I wanted to bring to people's attention. Now the first is these scale door handles. Those are the scale door handles. They are not on the car. I have put one on so you can see the difference. So this is what the door handle looks like. Or you can use the stickers that are already on there. So that's one of the first things I did. Now the second thing is on the same parts tree is this black piece at the other end. Now this is the scale replacement piece for that sticker there, that black sticker. This goes there. Now all the holes for these pieces are actually preset inside the body, so all you got to do is take your handy dandy hole reamer or a drill bit and drill it out, and you can pop them in. So now they do need to be glued in. Now there is no screw hole on the door handles. There is a screw hole on the back ones, but these ones actually have to be glued in, which is okay. There is a pinhole on the back side, so you might be able to put like a piece of wire or something in there to keep it from losing it. So those are the scale things I would look out for. Now actually there's a couple more before we get into the car itself. There's a set of 3 sets actually of like cow horns that you can put on the bumper or on the grill or whatever. They have the Axial logo on them. They're pretty cool. Another thing you'll find on there is Axial's I don't know if you can see the logo on there. There you go. These are actually Axial ammo cans. They actually hinge and snap shut and everything. You do have to put something in the back here for a pin. I didn't find anything in the kit itself and the parts trees that would fit in there, so you do have to find a pin. But it comes with 3 ammo cans and the bull horns. Another thing you want to look out for is these, and these are the battery tensioning tabs. They hold the battery tight in the tray, and then you'll see here why here in a minute. They did put the pull tabs on the body pins, which is nice. I always love those, much easier. So let's get into the car. So on the front you have a recessed bumper for a winch so it doesn't sit too high. You got the fair lead already coming out, and it looks like the holes are kind of already preset there for you to just drill through and put your own aluminum one on if you want. You got shackle tabs, 2 light holes. The back has the light holes, and the kit comes with the lenses for them, but this car does not come with any lights. There is holes behind this very scale grill. If you're not a Jeep person, this is exactly what a Jeep grill looks like. It is screwed to the body. The screws are hidden behind these stickers here. But you can put the white here and the orange down here, or amber, or whatever you want to call it. You got the BFG all-terrain TAKO2 tires. Not my favorite tire on real rigs day to day, but I've seen some videos of this thing in action and they seem to do very well. They're a lot stiffer than I thought they would be, which could be good because the battery weight is up front on this one, which you'll see in a sec. You also got these nice sliders over that original Scx10. They're a little bit more solid. We go to the back here. So you basically have the same bumper as the front, but obviously shorter and without the winch mount. And it comes with a scale trailer ball hitch. And it's actually very strong for how small it is and how thin it is. It's very hard to twist. So that's a good thing. Now we're going to go take the body off and get to the inside. So here's the inside. Normal Scx10 tube frame, which is nice. This wheel length on this can actually be adjusted a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. There's a separate set of holes and whatnot for you to do that. Now, there is nothing in the back. The back is completely empty, so you have all that free space for accessories or more power later or whatever you want to do, which is nice. We'll go through the electronics real quick. Got the Axial AE5 ESC with the two jumpers. One is for nickel metal hydride and LiPo. The other is for 50% and 100% drag brake. You have the Axial 35 turn motor, which I have come to love, and you have the Tactic TSX45 servo. So the shocks are normal Scx10 shocks. The springs feel a little beefier than normal, and I could be wrong. They seem a little stiffer. Waterproof receiver box, which is always good. I believe this is the AX10 transmission. I think it's the same one in the stock Scx10. Another thing to look out for, because you can swap transmissions in the wheelbase, is in your parts tree bag here there is actually another skid plate, a bigger skid plate. So let's stand this up and get underneath. Look at all the goodies here. So you got floor panels, which are nice. This is what your ESC and stuff are sat on. They're really solid. This whole piece right here is really solid over the other setup. You have 4-link stainless in the back, and I call it 4-link in the front as well, and I'll show you why in a second. And people could not call it that, whatever, but it's still got a 4-link suspension. It's not the normal 3rd link with the Y as the original one. You got your nice thinned up axles, nice and cleaned up. They tuck the pinion up higher so you get better drive shaft angle and higher clearance. The drive shaft is now pretty much flush with the links, if not a little bit higher. Standard recessed screws in the transmission, always good because you start smacking those pretty quick. They do like they set them in there a little deeper than normal, which I'm not complaining because those get smacked pretty hard now and again. So we'll set this down and I'll explain why I call the front suspension a 4-link, and like I said, people may not call it that, but to me it is. So you got the 1, 2, 3. Now the 4th link, and for a few reasons, I'm sure they did this for scale realism, the 4th link is actually right here. This is actually a track bar. If you're not familiar with Jeeps, they have them in the front to center the axle under the car. So this is one of those adjustments where you're going to have to make sure if you ever change this or modify this that this length remains the same. Otherwise your front axle will scoot over to the left or the right. But there is your 4th link supporting the top of the axle on the other side. It just goes to the frame. Now this is the steering link in front of it, and then you have, or the link arm, and then you have the actual steering linkage right here. So yeah, it's a very scale design, and I'm assuming part of the reason they did that was not only for flex and scale realism, but they also, for the scale realism, had to have a, they call it now a CSM, some people will call it a panhard kit, but it is the CSM stands for chassis mounted, or CMS, excuse me. It stands for chassis mounted servo. So that's why the servo is up here now instead of normally sitting on top of the axle. And the reason you need these battery tensioners that I was showing you earlier, is little tabs, is because the battery in the SCX10 sits up on its side, which I found very interesting, but I see why they did it, to save space and whatnot. So we'll see how well that works. But those little tabs go right down in there, and you screw them into, I believe it's these holes right here. There's one here and one down here, and you can hold your battery nice and snug, because I will have to use those. And that is pretty much it. The Axial Scx10 2. I'm very excited. It's always good to get a birthday present like this. So I'm going to finish putting on my scale accessories, and I'm going to take this thing for a cruise tonight, more than likely. Hopefully there will be another video very soon of this thing in some action. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that follow button. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry, but can't please everybody. So y'all have a good day. Snowman, Owensville Crawlers.